That's funny. Oops, wait. And now from that little church in Petersburg.
Oh, here she is.
Nadine.
Oh, y'all didn't have to do this.
See right back there in that green shirt?
Uh-huh.
That's Tony.
Hey,
He's
Tony.
the pastor of that little Petersburg church.
Oh, shoot. Now I got to change everything I was going to say today.
Preacher in the house, preacher in the house.
What's going on
welcome.
with you?
Welcome. Not much.
Okay.
Oh, there's my favorite
Okay.
right there. Hey, Tim, how are you?
I'm good, Nadine. How are you?
Good to have you.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, I like the way you play that piano. I took for 7 years.
Yeah?
I can play at Calvary. That's about it.
That's about the only place they'll let you play it, too.
Yep. A lot of grace there, sir. Amen. I like your third wife, too.
Yeah.
I like her.
Yeah, thank you.
Roxanne.
Yeah.
Y'all hang out with Jeannie Seeley a lot, don't you?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I like her. She told me one day, she said, people used to say, if I had a brain, I'd be dangerous. And she said, now I wonder if they know I do, and I am. I like that.
I do, too.
I was on the way to
Yes,
work this
yes.
morning. I rode with Renee and Phil, and I told her my back's killing me. I moved my couch yesterday. She said, well, what are you doing moving the couch? You don't need to be moving furniture. You should wait on Homer. I said, well, I would have, but it'd been a heck of a lot heavier with him on it. I wish y'all got ice cream in here.
What is that?
That's pudding,
Oh.
but I really love ice cream.
Well, we'll work on that.
You know,
Thought we had ice cream.
Yeah.
we're in Branson. We're Andy's the whole time, all the time.
We like Andy's.
I do too. I love Andy's. We got one Spring Hill now.
What
I
do
like
you
the
do?
barbecue.
You
I
bring
have to
it-
carry my own
Starla.
sugar around. Nobody gives sugar over here. They just put it on the tables. I don't ever have
That's what
any
you're
up
supposed
here.
to get from Homer.
Lord, how many do you use?
I use 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
I put a little coffee in my sugar.
God.
But,
It's no, that's not really sugar. What is
no,
that?
this is stevia. It's
Oh.
very healthy.
Oh, yeah.
It's organic.
And expensive, no doubt.
Well,
And
I
it's
don't know about that.
cage-free.
It's cage-free.
Yeah.
No. I tell you, I love ice cream so much that if I sit down at night with a bowl of ice cream and my house caught on fire, honey, I'd go down like a captain on a ship. I do. I love it. And you know, Martha Stewart says that in order to keep a ice cream cone from dripping, you should put miniature marshmallows in the bottom. But I train my girls, my grandkids, I told them, I said, honey, you do like a real woman does. You just bite the bottom off and you suck that ice cream out of it.
There you go. Yes, sir.
I got rid of Homer for 2 days. I got him a part-time job down at Walmart as a greeter.
Oh.
Apparently, you again is not what they were had in mind. He's back home.
Didn't laugh.
A retired husband is a woman's full-time job, isn't it? Amen. I'll never know. But while Homer was working for the 2 days, I got him to take me over there. I was going to get me a DVD on diet. I'm not on dieting, on exercise.
Yep.
And I went over there and I looked and looked. I couldn't find a thing. I asked some kid over there in that department, I said, do you have a exercise video for people like me? And you know, that boy, he looked at me up and down, just looked me all the way up, looked at me down. He said, yeah, I know where they are. I said, where? He said, over there between science fiction and the horror movies. I told him what he could do with his DVDs.
Been talking to Homer, right?
Pastor.
Now, I'm on a new diet now. It's eat everything and pray for a miracle. Well, I'm going to go on over.
You've consumed that thing.
I am hungry this morning for some reason. I am. I'm going to probably eat it before I get through talking here. I'm going to go and put the sign up.
And it will
It's
say
going to
what?
say, 2 things defines you: your patience when you have nothing and your attitude when you have everything.
Whoa. Yeah.
Preach
I
it,
like
brother.
that.
I like that. All right.
Uh-oh. Here she comes.
Speaking of good,
I warned you. Nadine! Nadine! What?
what is this?
It's my service dog.
You need servicing.
It is. Excuse me.
Hey there. Hey there. How
What was
are
that
you?
about?
So you hang out with old ladies?
Yes.
Whose dog is it?
It's Opry Dog.
That's Opry
Opry
dog.
dog.
I
That's
don't
a
look
famous
like Opry
dog.
dog.
It is. He tells me when I'm getting ready to fall asleep.
That's the sheriff's dog. Wow. Now, how come you got 2 handles on him?
Sheriff sleeps
Her.
on the floor.
It.
The dog sleeps in the bed.
What? Because she's lazy?
She has arthritis.
Oh. I know them rightus boys, and Arthur's the worst one. What are you doing?
Just laughing at you.
I like that dog.
You ought to put that kind of leash on Homer.
Honey, you
Control.
can't put a leash on Homer. Couldn't drag him around. How you doing, Tony?
I'm great. How are you?
Good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
You're black.
I am.
What?
I knew he'd get a kick out of that. No, I laughed because I heard everybody hears you, and then they come up to you and they go, "You're black."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, it's a good thing because he didn't know that."
He's black too.
Yeah. Where? Who's that?
Larry.
Larry. Okay.
Yeah,
Larry Black,
Larry
yeah.
Black.
I got you.
I'm
I
also
take-
got food in my mouth.
I've got some in me,
What?
black,
Oh, I got food.
because I can dance. White people can't dance. I can dance. Well, on with the show. Hey, I've had company all week. By the way, no, I need to come back to you. Your mama just listened to gospel music all the time, didn't she?
That's all she listens to.
Yeah. Your dad listens to all kinds of
Hey,
music.
listen to everything.
See, I knew you'd have to be a good man. Mama listened to gospel music. You're good.
Listening
what
doesn't
Mama-
make you good,
Well, it does because it tells you what you're listening to all the time, so you're thinking about it all the
but
time.
then accepting is what makes you good.
Well, his mama accepted it.
Okay, just checking.
Just checking on you.
Checking on your theology here.
Me and Larry was raised in churches where we couldn't cut our hair, couldn't wear makeup, there wasn't anything we could do.
I could wear makeup. The men could wear makeup. It was the women that couldn't wear makeup.
I was sitting in my first grade class, and we went in and they showed Old Yeller in the in the auditorium, and I knew I was going to die and split hell wide open. I was sitting there watching Old Yeller. Scared me to death. That's a true story. I got a friend in the audience,
Who?
Karen, over there. Karen
Karen?
Mullins, yeah.
Yep.
Put the camera on her and embarrass her to death.
Oh, yeah.
She's with one of Tony's friends. Yeah.
Her daddy was one of the greatest arrangers ever in Nashville. Remember Danny Boy? He arranged the strings on that.
Yeah, he did.
So
I
many
remember
great
that.
songs.
For the good times.
For the good times. Yes, he did arrangement on that.
Yeah. She's my sister. She was my twin sister at church.
Oh, is that right?
We sang in the choir.
Ooh.
Both of you.
We did. Go to the Rock, that was our song. You heard it, you was there.
Of course I was
Apparently you blocked your ears. But anyway, I just had to say that. She's just really sweet. We're going to get back together. We hadn't been together in a long time.
there. And she didn't know that the one that she went to church with was Nadine.
I know, isn't that weird? I mean, my neighbors don't know. I'm a hit, I'm telling you. I'm a big hit. Nobody knows. It's secret.
Incognito.
Yeah, we had company all week long. I
Yep.
am so tired. It's family. You know, I have a
They make
special.
you tired.
I have a special place in my heart for family. That's what causes all them palpitations.
That's
Apparently.
right. Tums will get rid of
And
it.
I am the peacemaker in my family
Oh, Lord.
and Homer's family, so that tells you what the rest of them are
What kind
like.
of a family you got?
That's right. And Tony, I'm really not this grouchy. It just, by nature, I'm not. It just takes constant effort on my part. But anyway, Homer's cousin and his wife came and stayed with us for a week. And did you know their son went to 4 years college? Well, he really went 8 years because he got his doctorate, and he didn't learn a thing. He said he got a doctorate, he had a double major, and he got one in psychology, and then he got another one in reverse psychology. Did not learn a thing.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to
I
take Larry
understand
about
that.
30 minutes
picked
on
up
that one.
on
No, I understand that now. I understand it.
My son and daughter-in-law's got 2 kids. They said college was so expensive, they're not going to have any more because she said life is too hard to be kicked from the inside and the outside. We were talking about biological clocks. I said, well, I've still got one. It's on display at the Smithsonian. Well, honey, at my age, when I hear afternoon delight, that means a nap. Yep, nap time's my happy hour. Well, after that comment, I need to go ahead and go hang the sign
You
up.
probably do. What's it saying
This is a good one
week?
for all y'all, especially
Church
you.
sign. What?
If you don't want anybody to find out, don't do it.
Hey, there's some advice. I like that.
You got it.
Where's the fun in that? All right, Jared, you got something for me? Nadine. He controls Nadine.
Nobody controls Nadine.
Well, that's
Where is
true.
Nadine? Where is she?
Where is
Come
she?
on, woman.
Where is she? Oh, there she is.
How you doing?
I almost didn't make it.
That's right.
Whew.
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. Bobby?
I'm good, darling. You
Good
all
to-
right?
Good to see you. You're a fisherman, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Do you
Good one.
hunt? You don't? Do you hunt?
Nope,
You
I
don't hunt?
fish.
Fish. Homer's a hunter. He's real good with a rifle, but he don't do squat with a bow and arrow.
You're not supposed to squat with a bow and arrow.
Trouble.
And cowboys aren't supposed to squat with their spurs on.
Could be painful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was out there the other day and I was picking up sticks in the yard and I saw an arrow there and I took that in there and I said, "Is this yours, Homer?" He said, "Well, it sure is." I said, "Yeah, I thought it was. There ain't no deer on the end of it." He went down to Alabama to see a cousin of his, and this cousin kept bragging about this bird dog he had. And he said, "Well, quit bragging about it. Let me see what that dog can do." So he took him out in the cotton field. He went in there and, pecan pie.
Oh, thank
And,
you. I'm
Don't
not going
get
to do
your
it. I'm
slobbers
not going
on
to do it.
Anyway, he went down there in the cotton field and they walked out there and he walked in this old clump of bushes and this dog comes out and he puts his paw down and Homer says, "What does that mean?" He said, "That means that there's one bird in there." And sure enough, he gave the command, that bird, he flushed that bird out of there. Dog walks in another clump, comes back out, pats his foot twice. Homer said, "What does that mean?" He said, "It means there's 2 birds in that bush." And he flushed them out. Then he goes in this big old clump and he comes out and that dog just goes crazy. He's shaking cotton and stalks and he's going around. He picks up a stick and he's shaking that stick. You know where I'm going. And he says, what does that mean? That dog's going crazy. He said, "No, he just said there's more cotton picking birds in there and you can shake a stick at."
It's the worst I ever heard.
I can't believe I'm laughing at that.
Well, it's after lunch, you know.
Worst.
Well, but a friend of ours passed away and her husband got remarried, was getting remarried. And we was before they got married that night, we was talking about it. And his daughter was talking to the little grandson about why Papa was getting married again. And he said, "Well, why is he getting married?" She said, "Well, because he's lonely and he needs somebody to talk to and go eat with and all this kind of stuff." He said, "Well, why don't he just get a dog?" And I heard Homer behind me said, "That's what I do." And I said, "Well, I wouldn't, because I'd have to be cleaning up after him too." Yeah, I want to hear Bobby sing, so I'm getting out of here. I'm going to quit.
Well, he's here. You can
I know,
sing
but
till
I
you
want to hear him sing.
Well, then you got to stay here till here.
I am. I'm going to stay right here.
All right.
I'm going to put the sign up.
And it's going to say?
And it's going to say, if life were a do-it-yourself project, he wouldn't have left instructions. That's the Bible. Paul.
Now that you've explained it to me. Oops.
All right, it's Nadine.
Hey, y'all.
Nadine, look
see
who we got
y'all.
over yonder.
I know, man. You went to the top this time.
I'll tell you
didn't
what. Been to the top of the mountain.
That's right.
Brought 4 of them back with us.
He brings 4 or 5 in, and he goes to the top.
That's right.
It's good to have y'all here.
Thank you.
I like that jacket. Woo. Sharp looking. Well, it's hot out there. Whew. Man, I tell you what, you know it's
welcome
hot.
inside. We got it cool in here.
Well, I tell you what, I sitting out there in the chair. You know it's hot when the chair gets up with you when you get up.
Oh, that's hot.
It's hot. Emmy Jo, Keith's wife, took me to town yesterday. I had to go in, and Homer won't let me drive. And we was going on, there was a big billboard up there, and it had this girl in a bikini drinking a beer.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, you know, I bet if I drank a 6-pack of that, I'd look like that, wouldn't I? I said, no, you wouldn't. I said, but if Keith drank a 6-pack, you might.
Oh!
He can get drunk on a quarter. That's what I heard. I heard that, yep. My friend of mine.
What?
A quarter, like 25 cents. He and Homer can do that.
You can't
Cheap
buy
drunk.
a beer for a quarter, can you?
Oh, you can buy a little glass.
You buy a spoonful.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
See, I get my communion at church for free.
We don't get real stuff.
Oh, we get grape juice.
You get grape juice,
Where
right?
you go to church, man? I'm going to go over there.
I'm going to become a Catholic.
It's the real stuff.
Friend of mine's husband passed away, and I went over there to went over to visit her, and I had my granddaughter with me, and we walked up on the porch, and I told her, I said, honey, when we go in there, you just tell her how sorry you are. She looked at me like I was crazy. She said, well, Mimi, why do I need to do that? I didn't kill him. Kids drove us up to Branson, to Starlight, and we had to stop at that casino and spend the night up there. And we went in there.
What casino?
You know, the casino that, I don't know, Metropolis.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
even close to Branson.
Well, you can go through there.
It's on the way to Branson. Phil and Renee and I spent the night up there one time. But we went in and was eating in a restaurant, and there was bells and whistles going off from them,
Yeah, slot
machines and everything. And my grandson said, whew, this is great. This is like Chuck E. Cheese for old people. It's true.
It is.
I don't do casinos real well. I don't have good luck. I could buy a cemetery and people to quit dying. I'm going to go and put the sign up.
That's good. What's it going to say?
It's going to say, your friends are like buttons on an elevator. They can either take you up or down.
That's true.
Remember that, girls? Remember
Well.
Them's the fox. Lord help us.
Yeah. Oh, here she comes. Oh, she's got a new dress and everything. Wow. Woo, baby.
You want this here stool? Is there a stool out there for you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. There
Oh,
wasn't
sure.
supposed to be. I know, don't you? You just want to play with that horn.
I don't know. I sort of feel like a pork chop at a bar mitzvah.
We heard you back there a minute ago.
I know. I heard that. I heard it too. Coffee, yeah. I want to be up all night. Look at there.
What are you doing?
I was pointing to, well, looky, Miss Sunshine's here. Long.
Right back at you.
Tell you, she's prettier than a fried batch of catfish, ain't she? That's what her husband would say.
Oh boy, is that for sure.
Yeah, right.
He's probably out fishing right now.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know, she's gone on like, I don't know what, every cruise we've ever been on.
Have you been on all of them?
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but you've been close.
Almost, I think, except for the first 2, maybe.
Yeah, the last one she went with us, she got a Grammy while we were gone.
Yeah.
Then she's been all over Europe. Your bucket list is pretty much gone, isn't it?
The only thing left for you to do is kick it.
Oh, ooh, don't say that, Larry. Don't say that.
Oh, no, don't say that. Lord of mercy. But anyway, sure is good to see you again. I'll have to come down there and use one of them turkey basters. I got one of those. I bet I could play one of those.
Yeah. Did you see that guy do that on there? That was pretty
That's fun.
amazing. When he tuned it, when we weren't in tune, I just like, what is he going to do? He goes, just a second. He drinks a little bit of it. And
I might
perfect
put
tune.
some communion in mine.
I bet you would.
Yeah. I tell you, am I the only one in here that thinks this whole America has turned to a big Jerry Springer show? I mean,
Right.
really. You remember when we had TVs that it would, the channel would be bad, so we'd go over and hit it, smack it,
Yep.
to get it to clear up? I'm feeling that way about too many people. I ain't gonna get political. I'll just talk about Homer's family.
That's unpolitical.
His brother had a birthday yesterday. We had to go there last night. We walked in, he had his Publishers Clearinghouse papers all over the table. He couldn't find the stamps. I had to help him. I'd already sent mine in. I told him, I said, honey, the biggest bucks you're gonna have is those two sitting on your den wall in there, hanging up on his den wall.
Do you really do the Publishers Clearinghouse?
Well, yeah, I do. Who knows? You'll never see my fat butt again. Like old James Gregory, I'm out of here. No, I would not give it all away.
Charity.
No, I would.
Charity, yeah.
Yep, I would. But anyway, I do hope he wins some because his front gate is an iron headboard. And I'm hoping that I would be glad if they got some money.
Iron headboard.
Iron headboard. They didn't have it.
I
They
wonder if-
couldn't get a tartar.
I was
gate.
going to say, I wonder if Tartar made it.
No, I don't think Tartar did. But anyway, his daughter Ruthie was there last night. She gets on my last nerve. Mm-hmm. She's been married so many times. She's got rice marks on her face. And she's divorced now.
Here.
She's divorced now. And now she's in menopause, and she thinks because she's in menopause that she can park in a handicap spot.
Oh, no.
And she took me to Walmart the other night, and I was so embarrassed because she just whipped in that handicap space, and then we get out, and then this old woman's hollering at us saying, y'all ain't crippled, y'all ain't crippled. And I said, I turned around and I looked at her, and I pointed to Ruthie, and I said, it ain't always physical. And her brother was there last night. My nephew, bless his heart, I always say her brother because I hate to claim him. But honey, I tell you what, I need to talk to Gus about him because he is so cross-eyed. He can stand on the front porch and count chickens in the backyard. I'm telling you. He is.
Yeah.
I love it.
You need that, Gus.
They want us to bring our great-grandkids over to hunt Easter eggs. And I told them, I said, I ain't doing it. They went last year, and they tripped over all the Christmas lights and like to kill themselves. And it's with Easter being early, they ain't got the Christmas lights up yet. But I tell you what, she did put on a spread last night for not Homer, but what's his brother's name? Clyde. Clyde's birthday. And she used her best set of china, and you would have loved it. It was the career of John Wayne. He's here tonight, isn't he? Yeah. So, and then Easter, she'll probably do Loretta Lynn's, but you would like them. They're really good. They're all the plates of all them, We need to get some of them plates, Larry.
Uh-huh.
That'd be good. I think I probably could sell those. I could add it to my crap out front. Well, I'm going over to get church sign up. It's going to say, not going to church because of hypocrites is like not going to the gym because there's out-of-shape people.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. Look out. Yep. Here she comes.
Hey, Nadine.
How you?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I thought I heard Gene Watson in here.
Well, now that's a compliment, I think.
A younger version.
Well, you can say that again. It is a younger version.
A young
Well,
a
Gene will
fan of Gene Watson.
Gene will have to do a Mark Will song when he comes.
I would love to see that.
How you?
I'm good.
I like this kid. If we do that Alaska cruise, bring your mom and daddy.
I will.
I like
will.
them. They're nice people.
You know what? When we get done, I've got the app right here on the phone. We'll just go ahead and pick our cabins.
Okay. Me and Homer get
Read
one
my
right
face.
now.
Absolutely, yeah.
You and Kelly, we have a good time.
Me, Kelly, Mom,
Yeah.
and Daddy. We'll make Bob and Shirley come. They were on the cruise with us last time. Bob
Yeah.
and Shirley, they sat with us at dinner every night.
Yeah, they did.
And now they're on stage with us up here while we're
Yeah, that'd
hanging
be
out
good.
having a good time.
Maybe we could get Exile on their band there.
Damn.
I think we could.
Ain't gonna be in
I think we
Alaska.
could. I think
Maybe we could have an orchestra. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Larry. I just had to do it.
Yep.
Just had to do it. I'm sorry. Whew. Well, my winter
that a
body
hot
came
flash?
early this year. No, my winter body came early. I don't know if y'all noticed or not.
No.
But, excuse me.
He had to do that.
Yeah, you paid a lot of money for that table, didn't you? And you know what Homer said? He said, don't blame the holidays, you was fat in August. But, you know, calories are those little things that go in your closet and sew your clothes tighter. Mine's infested with them. But anyway, guess what I got?
What?
Guess what Homer got me? A shower radio.
Whoa.
I think somebody gave it to him, and he wrapped it up and played
He
like it was some
re-gifted
big
it.
gift. Who listens to it? Do y'all listen to music in the shower? I have my radio
Ooh,
on in
somebody
the
does.
bathroom.
Supposed to sing in
Colin
the shower.
does back there.
I sing in the shower, but I really think he's trying to get rid of me. I mean, would you dance in the shower? There's no better place to dance than in a slick with a slick floor and glass door. I think he's
You might
planning
have something on. You might have to be onto something.
I know. He's wanting to get that $50,000 new truck. I know what he's thinking. I listened to rap music for 3 hours yesterday.
Really?
You did.
Not by choice. It was in a Jeep 4 miles back. But it was in bumper to bumper traffic.
Yep.
But you know, mirrors don't lie. I'm glad they don't laugh either. Well, I ain't no Barbie, but I don't think I'm big enough to eat hay yet.
You what?
I said, I ain't a Barbie, but I don't think I'm big enough to eat hay yet. I can tell them to you. I can't understand them for you.
Okay.
By the way,
Yes.
I want to ask you something. Me and Homer was watching TV last night.
Yep.
Why is it that at a theme park, they can take a picture of you going 70 miles an hour in one of them, what do you call them?
Really-
Roller coasters.
Yep.
And you go in a bank and they can't take a picture of a bank robber standing still.
That's true.
He's got something
We talked about that all the way over here. I mean, they're so fuzzy, you can't even see nothing.
Yep.
And my grandkids have got roller coaster rides, and it's just clear as day.
Good point.
Could y'all figure that out for me?
I will.
All right. While y'all are doing that, I'll go and put a church sign up.
And what's it going to say?
It's going to say, being a Christian isn't a position, it's a process.
It's a
And
what?
you can. Really?
Being a Christian what?
Is not a position.
Not a position.
It's a process.
Process. I like it.
Y'all just bow your heads. Let's pray a minute.
Uh-oh. Watch out, T.
Here she comes.
You know she's got a crush on you. Yeah, Miss Nadine herself.
How you doing?
I'm gonna get off my throne
You're way up there, boy.
to come over here and see you. How you doing, Nadine?
I'm doing good.
That's what I heard.
There's Steve Graham. How you doing, bud?
Are you really a man?
Tell you what, buddy, you better watch out.
my
You'll be that
goodness.
smell in my trunk. Am I really a man? Well, I tell you what, the last time I remember seeing you, you and your lovely wife was out at my house and we changed clothes and did a commercial. I wore your clothes and you wore my clothes.
I sure look good in them, too.
I think you look better than I did,
What commercial was that for?
Branson. And he put my dress on and, honey, he looked good.
I put her hat on, her
He
glasses
did. He had
on,
whole.
her dress, and
That
got her
dress will
dress,
never be in shape again.
got it all stuffed good. And
Oh, yeah. He got stuffed really
I haven't
good.
seen it.
Well, we don't show it much.
No, somebody ought to show that, and I'll tell you.
I know it. I got this cough, and I'm scared to death. I'm just going to cough right in this microphone, and I'm going to scare everybody to death.
Probably.
It's good to see
I
you.
can cover it with my oga horn over here.
No, you can shut that horn up. Whew. I tell you. What was I going to tell you?
I don't know.
My memory's gone. My memory's gone. It's hard to be nostalgic when you don't have a memory. But anyway, you know, me and Homer's watching the weather. All these old people, that's all we do is watch the weather. I don't know why. There's nothing else to do, I guess. But anyway, for 364 days, we watch the weather. And then on February the 2nd, my husband says, y'all shut up now. There's going to be a groundhog going to be telling the weather for going to predict the future. We got to listen to him. Oof. Gets on my nerves.
With the groundhog or Homer?
Both.
Just checking.
Both.
Did I
Well-
show you this?
I know. It's really cool. He's a comedian and a magician.
I had cataract surgery. And this one, I'd had it done before the cruise. And I'd pulled this lens out because it had the astigmatism is now gone. Came back and had this one done. We don't have a lens in it yet, but you can't wear a prescription there because I don't need the prescription anymore. So I took the lens out.
He just likes to wear his frame. You don't really need it.
That's true.
My husband Homer did it in a garage, did his cataract surgery.
I would have, but I had the Lincoln parked in there at the time.
Well, I tell you,
Have I totally
you
confused you?
totally got me off course here. Forgot where I was.
You're in Ray Stevens.
Hey, who was that?
Who was that? Oh, Dilbury.
I
Man,
think you
many
needed a
times.
rim shot.
No, I remember where I was. We was talking about memory. I didn't have any
Yes,
memory.
that's right.
Homer says it's really bad when your wife says you only got one thing on your mind and you can't remember what it is.
That's what he says.
That's what he said.
He's like that.
I know. I was in North Carolina last weekend, and I walked in this hotel room, and I thought, in a hotel lobby, and I thought, there's a lot of seniors staying here because doors was open, there was door keys in the outside door, the alarms in the cars were going off. You do that.
What?
You know, it's just like we forget stuff. We had luggage out in the hallway, and there was door keys in the door on the outside.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you do.
you know, Larry Gatlin gave me some memory pills that improve your memory.
You sure they were memory pills?
Yeah, they were memory pills. But it didn't help me. I kept forgetting to take them.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That's a good one.
All right.
Well, we was in this,
That is pretty pitiful.
we were in this restaurant. We were sitting there in North Carolina in this restaurant, and we noticed this man up there at the bar. He was talking to this woman, and he just kept talking to her, and he finally looked at her and he said, "Honey, I want to tell you something. I may not be the best looking guy here, but I'm the only one talking to you." And Homer looked right at him and he said, looked at her and he said, "Listen to the boy. You better go with him. You better go with him." It was really embarrassing to me. This is just really going downhill fast.
You totally lost me.
Well, I do. I lose you every time we can do this. I tell them to him, but I told him I can't explain them to him. Understand them for him.
You
That's
know,
right.
if I agreed with you, we'd both be wrong.
That's right. I'd be the one that was right. Well, hey, you know what?
No.
I have figured out what men really want, though. They want to be really, really close to somebody that'll leave them alone.
That's true.
I finally figured that out after 54 years.
See?
I'm going to put the church sign up.
See what
Get
you got?
this.
You got to look forward to.
Oh, no. I take the pills.
You take the pills.
Hey, they're from Franklin.
Uh-huh.
Your sister-in-law is sitting out here, and she's been married 37 years.
My sister-in-law has?
I didn't hear you announce that.
Have you been married that long? Christy? I married you and him. It's not supposed to last that long.
Oh, you officiated. I thought you were saying you married.
They've been married
I
3
did.
times.
Right.
Each
What's the sign gonna say?
I'm going up. It's going to say it's better to walk alone than with a crowd going in the wrong direction.
Oh, that's for sure.
I like that.
I like that one.
I like that.
I do.
Yeah, let's give
All
her a
right.
big hand. Bless her heart.
All right, here she comes.
Woo! Santa Claus is here.
Get on over here.
Exile's here tonight.
Yeah, you're gonna be dancing later.
I know my preacher just scares him to death when Exile shows up. He's scared some of our members are going to see me.
In all of your
have y'all.
glory.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Go for it.
I'm geared up. I've had 4 cups of coffee. By the way, can I just say something real quick?
No.
Troy, I'm going to say it anyway. Troy and Sonia are out here in the audience. Where's Troy and Sonia?
Oh, over there, right there.
There they are, right there.
Troy and Sonia.
Yeah, Troy is Linda Davis's brother. She don't claim him very much, but I just thought I'd speak it out loud.
Sir, we are so sorry for you. Linda Davis's brother.
Yeah,
Wow.
and they love the diner. And they
Thank
came all
you.
the way from Texas just to be here.
You're not staying with Linda, are you? Good. I love it. We love her too.
I know. Well, hey, I want you just to guess. This is one of those questions. Guess what I have in common with those Victoria's Secret models?
Well, I want to hear this.
What'd you say?
No, we're all hungry.
Good answer.
Now, we got an IRS letter last week.
You did?
Told us we owed $800 more.
I got that telephone call, but
So well, that's a scam. If they call you, that's a scam. I figured that one out. We got a letter.
I gave him your number.
Oh, yeah, that's why we got that then.
That's right.
But
You got a
anyway,
letter.
Homer made a little note on the bottom, and he said, if you will notice in my return, I sent a paper clip. And if y'all are spending money the way I think y'all are, then that should make up the difference. We hadn't heard from him. Homer's brother was over at the house the other night. Clyde said, I don't trust the government. He said, you know, that Miss Universe pageant's it's all fake. It's not real. I said, what do you mean it's not real? He said, all them winners are from Earth. I said, you know, you're the reason that this country has to have directions on shampoo bottles. He's as useless as a G in lasagna.
As a what?
The G,
Oh, a G in lasagna. Now I understand.
He got it.
I got one.
He got it.
I got one. That's one Luann won't have to explain to me.
He's taking his medicine. I didn't tell you, but I was in here the other day, and the priest was in here from the Catholic church down the street. And we were sitting there talking, and he said that he was in the church that day, that afternoon, and this guy came in and was just staggering from pew to pew and was having a horrible time. And he said he finally wound up over in the confessional. And he said, I felt so bad for him. He said, I went over into my part and asked him if, I said, can I help you, son? And he said, well, I don't know. You got any paper on your side?
Whoa! I like that.
More confused than the turtle on the center stripe. I'm going to go put the... Did I see Rory here?
Rory?
Did I see Rory and Indy?
He had to go put Indy in bed, I'll bet.
Yeah, she was already asleep.
I thought I saw him.
Yeah, Rory Feek was here a little bit ago.
We didn't even get to say hi. Hey, Rory. Indy. Heidi. Hopi.
Heidi, Heidi, Heidi. I wonder if that's how they named them.
I don't think
Heidi,
so.
Heidi, Heidi, Hopi.
I don't
Never mind. Okay.
I'm going to put the sign up.
Yeah, it's going to say.
It's going to have, God didn't add another day to your life because you needed it. He added another day to your life because somebody else out there needs you.
That's a
right.
big sign. It's a long sign, too. Anything Nadine says is not
That's right.
something, oops.
Here she comes.
Excuse me.
Lovely, lovely lady. Hey, Nadine.
How y'all doing? Ooh, y'all got a crowd in here tonight.
I get off my chair for you.
Oh. I'd love to have that chair.
If you could tote it home, you could have it.
I could drive it
That
home.
thing's big.
I want to drive it home.
It goes up and down, and it
Well, I
toots.
need that.
That's right. You need any help?
Go sideways. Well, I'm just trying to get my place situated. How you doing?
I'm good, girl. How are you?
Cute. You look cute.
So do you.
I used
always.
to look
I
just
like that
like
we both
you.
went with the floral print. We were, you're such a fashion icon.
You look at this and you know what you're going to look like later on in life. You can tell that cute husband of yours, oh, honey, just look at Nadine. That's what I'm going to look like.
There you go, babe.
I've been working on my attitude. I've been trying to work on my attitude. My husband's
How's that
driving me
working?
crazy. It ain't working. Now I understand why Noah only let animals on the ark. I like to be on time.
Uh-huh.
And now, at this age, on time means just when Homer ever gets us there.
That's, I understand.
Because, you know that's not true. But he got stopped by the police. In Kentucky, we was going somewhere, and he got stopped, and they stopped and said, do you know what reckless driving cost in this state? And he said, you know what we do for people that get arrested for reckless driving? And Homer said, no, what? He said, it's pretty expensive. He said, well, what is it, re-election to the Senate? Sort of like Larry Black, when we go to Branson, he gets stopped by the cops, and the cop says, do you know how fast you was going? And he goes, well, apparently it wasn't fast enough because you caught me, didn't you?
We did get stopped on the way to Branson one time, and my wife was at home, and they started firing off on the
Text
Twitter
messages.
We
Larry.
passed
text
him.
messages.
They had stopped him, and he was on the side of the road, and so we went by and just was waving. And so we started texting, and his wife found out he had been stopped.
I told the officer, I said, do you realize how fast I'm going to have to go to catch those people when I leave you?
Well, I didn't know Homer was such a bad driver. I'm just beginning to realize we was going down the main street of our town, and all of a sudden the GPS goes off and it says, in 300 yards, take a slight right and let me out. I said, amen, sister. I'm going to go on over and put the church sign up.
What's it gonna say?
It's going to say, if I want Jesus to guide my footsteps, I got to get up out of my chair and start walking.
Oh, yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah. What that music means.
You know what that means, don't you?
Woo! There she is.
Lord,
Like to miss that one.
that means I gotta go.
Nadine,
Did you
Nadine.
get that door unlocked?
You know, I was back there watching TV, and I just forgot. I heard the music and went, uh-oh. Well,
Look at
is there an Elvis convention here? I love these boys. We was on the ship at the cruise, and the people kept saying, is there an Elvis convention around here? People that weren't with us. I'm their bodyguard. Old women just flock to them.
Yeah.
I'm
What
tired.
do you have in your mouth?
I have got a cough drop because last week I took 2 big swigs of cough syrup and came out here and my mind went blank.
Y'all should have been here for that. It was a blessed day in my life.
So when that show comes on, y'all gonna know. You're gonna say, that's the night she took that cough syrup.
Hey, Nadine, you know castor oil will help with a cough too. It'll
Yeah.
make it so you're scared to cough.
I know. The problem with that is it don't work with me. I mean, we're talking dynamite.
Excuse me?
We'll talk later, boys.
Yeah.
I'm just wore out. I was at the ER all night last night with Homer's brother. We had to take him over there. He had real bad chest pains. And I just didn't think we'd ever get home. I was worried about him, but come find out it was just his belt buckle. You know what? He wears his pants up real high. Leave me in, talk to him when you get home. I tell you, that boy just drives me crazy. Do you know if you wanted to brainwash him, you could do it with a thimble as a bucket? He's the only man I know that has to read a cereal box and would have to have a bookmark. Right. He's been watching all these Ancestry.com things on TV,
Yeah.
and he wanted to do that. He didn't know how to do it, so I got on the internet and ordered him a kit, and he came over and spit in that cup, and I sent it off, and about a week later, I got a letter back in a little package, and it had a pack of seeds that said, just start over.
That's good.
I knew that's what would happen. His son's just like him. He's an idiot. He went and had a tattoo put on and went home, called the guy back and said, you put this tattoo on backwards. He said, no, I did not. He said, I'm telling you, I'm standing right here looking in the mirror and it's backwards. He's one of those people you meet and you just want to buy them a toaster for their bathtub.
You're getting evil.
I'm gonna go. Well, I'm working on my attitude.
Uh-huh.
I've been praying about it. Y'all need to pray. Mine's not getting there, I guess. I'm gonna go put your sign up.
I saw a quote the other day that I thought kind of reminded me
me?
of you.
What was it? I'm afraid
The
to
last thing I want to do is hurt you, but it's still on my list.
Yeah. I like that one. I like that one too about, what is it, something about Moses. I can't remember what that was. Something about Moses and I'll hit you where Moses parted the water or something. I don't know.
Did you
I
take
have to
that
go home
cough
and read
syrup
that.
again?
I think this cough drop's got the same stuff in it. I'm gonna go over and put the sign up. It said, God is everywhere, even at your wit's end.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
I'm saying that over and over.
Here comes the lady.
She looks like she's in a bad mood.
Good Lord, it's crowded up here. Ugh.
Squeeze through there, baby. Squeeze through.
Come on in.
You're so funny. I'm gonna come in over here one night about 3 in the morning and get that horn.
It wouldn't work for you.
You know what? Well, hello there, Jimmy.
Hey, sweetie, how are you
Ryan,
doing?
John, good to have y'all.
Well, the show just got
The
a
Three
whole lot better.
Musketeers. I know, I saw
Good
your
to
pretty
be here.
wife a while ago. I taught her everything she knows.
He was complaining about that earlier.
Yeah, I wish my teeth was as white as my dance moves, but
Oh!
I
How
thought you
you
danced
doing?
pretty
I'm
good.
doing good.
you know what? I'm back here talking to these sound guys back here. They're like 5 and 7, I don't know. They're
Not
so
in
young.
number, you're talking about age.
I walked up there all lined up watching TV, and I said, y'all look like the Culhane family. And they go,
Who's the Culhane family?
I said, oh, y'all don't know who that is, do you? They were on a show called Hee Haw. What was Hee Haw? I'm just really depressed right now.
Well, don't be. You're with people that understand you,
Well, that's very true.
unfortunately.
All these old people out here, everybody knows. Hee Haw. You know, I have just been tired. I don't know if it's all these apple blossoms or cherry blossoms or whatever it is, but allergies, I guess. I don't know, but Homer came over today and gave me an apple, and he said, here, take this.
Oh, looky here.
Honey, you are my best
Joe
friend.
Bonzo. Wow.
A bonzo.
Hi.
Do we get coffee with this?
Oh, right. Joe Bonzo.
He gave me an apple, and he said, here, this will keep the doctor away. I said, apple will keep anybody away if you throw it hard enough.
That's true. You know what's worse than biting into an apple and finding a worm? Biting into an apple and finding a half worm?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think about that when I'm drinking my tequila at night. I'm kidding, people. Just kidding. I had to go get an MRI. I ain't never had one of them before. Scared me to death. I don't like them things. I get claustrophobic. But this little nurse was helping me. She was the cutest little young thing. She rolled me in there. And in a little bit, they rolled me back out. And this woman, nurse about my age, helped me up off the table. And I thought, I looked at her and said, good Lord, how long was I in here? But my regular doctor, he's real worried about my blood pressure.
Yeah.
He said, you got high blood pressure. I said, well, if you wouldn't leave me sitting out there in that waiting room for 2 hours, it wouldn't be that way.
That's right. I hate that about
I do
visiting
too.
doctors.
I do too. My eye doctor's pretty good. He don't keep me waiting too long.
He wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't. I went over there. You know, I have figured out that bifocals are God's way of telling us to keep our chin up.
Yeah.
It is. It is. But anyway, I went over there. He had a patient that just was losing her eyesight. And they did some surgeries, did some therapy. It came back. And she was one of these. She's like sort of like Don Wise. She's a real good artist. Real good artist. Where he does musical instruments, she did eyeballs. And she painted his whole office. I mean, she had eyes of every shape, color, size. It was beautiful. And they had the TV station, the radio station, all them people out there. And one of these guys came up to him and interviewed him and said, what do you think about all this? I mean, she did it for you free, painted this place. He said, well, you know, he's a good Christian man. He said, I was just standing here looking around, just thanking the good Lord I wasn't a gynecologist.
Here now.
Yeah. If I was closer to that Ooga horn, it would have gone, oh,
I know. I'm going to go put the sign up.
Okay. What's it going to say?
It's going to say, God's plans will always be greater than all your disappointments.
God's plan.
Amen. That's right.
Uh-oh. Look out, guys.
Okay.
You were warned.
She's a coming out here.
Oh!
Hey, Nadine.
How you doing?
I've been better.
Woo, man, you been better? Well, you ought to be doing good after that last song. Woo.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
I tell you, we had the kids back here jumping up and down.
They stopped watching TV?
If I die before y'all go, I want you to sing that twice at my funeral.
Twice?
Twice.
At the beginning and the end?
At the beginning and the end. I don't want any sad songs. I think we got it all messed up. You know, we're supposed to, mourn when they come in, and cry when they come in, and rejoice on the way out.
Absolutely.
There you go.
I want to party at mine.
That's what I do. You're supposed to preach mine. So you be sure it's a party.
I would love to.
I don't know if Homer's got enough money to pay you. Oh, that's scary. Homer's not with me tonight. He had to stay with our neighbor.
What's going on?
Our neighbor has a little problem. He gets in the bottle every once in a while.
Oh, no.
And I told him, I said, you better stay with him. I told him a few weeks ago, I said, you know, if you'd quit this stuff, you'd live a whole lot longer. And he came over about a week later and he said, you know, I didn't drink all day Sunday and it was about the longest day of my life.
I'm living longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I told him, I said, you know, alcohol don't solve any problems. He said, well, no, but neither does milk. But the bad one was Homer had to go get him last night. He was downtown somewhere. I don't know where he was, but Ethel, his wife, called Homer and said, would you go get him? And he went down there. And he was sitting there and he'd take a drink and then he'd look in his pocket and take a drink and look in his pocket. And Homer said, are you ready to go? And he said, well, in just a little bit. Homer sat there a little bit longer. He said, what are you doing? He said, well, I got a picture of Ethel down here. When she starts looking good, I'll be ready to go home.
I like this one, and I know it's been told before, but the guy at the bar had just got a new job, and he went out, he bought himself a new suit, and he was celebrating. And he's sitting at the bar, and he drank so much that he actually threw up on himself. He said, oh man, I don't know what's going to happen. He said, the bartender said, wait a minute. Been down this road before. Take a $20 bill, put it right there in the pocket. When your wife complains about it, have her reach in there and pull out that 20 and just say, the guy next to me threw up on me and he gave me 20 to have my suit cleaned. Good idea. He goes home, walks in, she smells it and she goes, what in this world? He says, right there in my pocket. He pulled out a 20, pulled out two 20s. He said, I understand. What's the 20 for? He said, well, the guy threw up on me. He said, here, go get my suit cleaned. What about the other 20? He said, well, he also pooped in my pants.
Hey! Foul ball.
You can go sit in your chair now. Well, he told me he was drowning his problems. He said, I'm drowning my sorrows. I said, honey, you don't know it, but sorrows they've learned how to swim. They ain't going to I'm going to put the sign up.
What's it going to say?
It's going to say, God never consults your past to determine your future.
Ooh, thank the Lord for that.
That's right.
Never consults my past. That's good. And speaking of the revelation of Bible humor,
Yes.
here she comes, Nadine. Where are you, Nadine? Will you get in here?
Hey, guys.
The reason we have a 30-second intro is so you'll have time to wake up and get in
Well, you know what?
here.
I was back there and me and Mo was solving the problems of the world and I can't hear that music. We need a speaker back there.
Okay.
Or y'all pipe it in there somehow.
Anything else you want to complain about?
Oh, I got lots. You got how much time you got? Hey, Billy.
Hey, darling.
How you doing?
Better now.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You still trying to open that vault?
Yeah, we got the vault.
Good.
The vault is rocking.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Country vault in Branson. That's what I'm talking about. Good to see you. Is your wife here?
She's not. She's in Branson.
Oh.
Yeah.
Trying to open the vault?
He has got the sweet, your vault. She's walking to his mailbox is what she's doing. Well, he's got a real sweet wife.
Miss
How would
Nancy.
you know her?
How do I know her?
Yeah.
My goodness, I met her. We ate dinner and I talked to her.
And from that small exchange, you have figured she's a sweet wife.
Honey, I can figure you out real quick. Don't think I can't.
Watch out now. Luann, you're going to have to straighten her out during the intermission.
Luann would agree with every single thing I said.
You're right.
I got to tell y'all something. I had a friend of mine, she called me a while ago, Louise. She was out at the park walking her dog, and I'm about to flip this bar over. I'm sort of scared.
I don't think you can flip it over.
Y'all be careful. Y'all watch. But anyway, she was out there with her dog, and it started running, chasing another dog, and she had to run a little bit, which she can't run. She's bigger than me. And but she lost her upper plate, her upper teeth, fell down in the grass, and she was trying to look for them and couldn't find it. And this man came by there, and he said, "What you looking for? And I'll help you find it." She said, "Well, I lost my upper teeth." And he's looking. He said, "Hey, honey, let me tell you something here." And he took some teeth out of his pocket, and he said, "Try these on." And so she tried them on. She said, "Well, these are a little loose. I don't think I can wear them." He said, "Well, here, try these." He gave her another pair, and she said, "Well, now those fit pretty good." She said, "You got a business card because I need a new dentist." He said, "No, I don't have no business card." He said, "I ain't no dentist. I'm an undertaker."
I like that.
I sort of gagged when I heard that. But you know, me and Homer was over at the grocery store the other day, and they asked me, I'm still ticked at him, I ain't speaking to him.
Homer?
Homer, yeah. We went in line and we were paying our thing. She said, "You got your preferred credit, or this preferred, I don't know, whatever they call it, some card where you get a discount." And I said, "I can't find it." She said, "Well, let me look up here and I'll look it up by your birthday." And she's looking. She said, "Well, here it is. This is a problem. They got you down for June 29th, 1910. Homer looked over and said, "Well, that's wrong. Her birthday's in March."
I like that.
I didn't. He said, "I think kids are getting stronger these days. Americans are getting stronger." He said, 20 years ago, it took 2 people to take $10 worth of groceries in the house. Now, a 5-year-old can do it.
It's all about strength.
It's all about brain cells. Yeah. His a human life has a lot of value.
Human life?
Human life has a lot of value. But Homer's insurance company's made me a really good offer.
You gonna take him up on it?
After what he said about me, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna put the sign up.
What's the sign gonna say?
Now I'm talking about God, I'm not talking about Homer. I don't always know what he's doing, but I know who he is.
Oh, I like that.
Really, I can say that.
Oh.
Saved by the bell.
Speaking of hot coffee.
The bell on the door.
All right, come on, lady. Nadine.
I had somebody pushing me out the door.
From back there? Mm-hmm. I need to congratulate him and thank him.
It's been a rough day, Larry. Somebody asked me how my day was going. I said, well, if I was a bird, I'd be flying into a ceiling fan about right now. Hey, Mo.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. Yeah.
Last time I saw you was on the ship.
That's right.
We was down in the casino, and Gene Watson was having a rough night.
Yeah. And I was pointing that out to everybody.
And you were. And he walks over to Gene, and he says, you just got to calm down, take a deep breath, and hold it for 20 minutes.
I tried.
I said, now that's a friend. That's a real friend.
Yep, he is that way.
It's good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I had a friend of mine. She called me a while ago. While I was back there, her little granddaughter's puppy. Well, it wasn't a puppy. It was a dog. Passed away, and a little girl was just bawling and crying. And she talked to her, and she was saying, "Honey, it's going to be okay. Oscar is just running and jumping and having a good time with the Lord." She said, "What would he want with a dead dog?"
Oh! I like that.
She ain't been to too many Sunday school
No,
classes,
no.
I don't think.
Reminds me of the new preacher's wife,
Uh-huh.
trying her best to help her husband along.
Mm-hmm.
They had invited the entire deaconry of the church or eldership to come out with their wives and have dinner with them. She wanted mushrooms. She didn't know. She went down by the little creek and cut the mushrooms, and she started thinking, wait a minute, there can be mushrooms that'll kill you. So she said, I think what I'll do is I'll get the dog to eat these mushrooms and see if they're going to be okay. Dog ate them. She watched the dog for a while. Dog's fine. She said, no problem. Cuts them up and gets them ready for the meal. After the meal, everybody is still doing fine. The maid came in and said, "Ma'am, the dog died." She goes, "Oh, no." They called the EMTs. They came out. They had all of their stomachs pumped. Finally, the woman came in and she said, how did she die? Said, a truck hit her.
Oh. Oh, no.
That calls for a lawsuit.
I'm holding off on
Pumping my
tie.
stomach.
What's going on? Tell me more.
My granddaughter was over the house. They're moving into a new house, and so we kept them while they was moving all the furniture in. My granddaughter said, I can't wait to get to our new house. I said, do you like it? She said, oh, I love it, Mimi. I got my own room, and my brother's got his own room, and poor old mama, she's still got to sleep with daddy, though. She went to school, and she came back on Friday, and she said, Mimi, do you know what they call people that can speak more than 2 languages? And I said, no. She said, it's multilingual. So, okay. She said, do you know what they call somebody that can speak 2 languages? And I said, no. She said, bilingual. I said, oh, okay. She said, do you know what they call somebody that just speaks 1? I said, no, I got that one. That's an American. She asked Homer why there wasn't more female superheroes. Mm-hmm. You know what he said? Well, by the time they change their clothes, the world would be destroyed.
That's Homer.
I'm going to go put the sign up.
The church sign?
This is a good one. This is good for tonight. When the roots are deep, there's no reason to fear the wind.
Oh. That's true.
It's very true. Get your roots deep, people.
Or be able to bend really good.
That's right. You know, as long as I've known Larry and Luann, they have always walked with the Lord. Although now it's becoming more like me and Homer. It's just a leisurely stroll.
Yeah. Strolling along.
Uh-oh. Here she comes.
Lady, 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 lady.
How you doing? Well, hello there, preacher. How you doing?
How you doing, First Lady?
Woo! Tell you what.
Sure looking good today.
I need to find out where you buy your clothes. I need to get Homer one of them suits.
Go to Wagner used clothes store.
Order Wagner used clothes.
I bet that, well, no, we go to Goodwill. I don't guess you got it at Goodwill, did you?
Old Will.
How y'all doing?
I got a free
Oh,
will.
it's good to see the Martins here.
What?
Good to see the Martins here.
Are they here still?
I'm thinking about going with them tomorrow. By the way, I heard what you said.
If you go, I'll go.
Holy, holy, holy. I had to keep singing it over and over and over. That was good, by the way.
You know what? That song doesn't get sung a whole lot anymore.
No, and not like that.
Remember it? New Hope Community Church.
I do remember it.
I led worship there, and we were singing. We had sang a song. This is in
Were you
Brentwood,
leading it
Tennessee.
then at that?
Yeah, I was.
Whew,
I was
that a
leading the
special
worship.
Sunday.
And we had just sung a song. If you're saved and you know it, say amen, amen.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and then I said, the young people, they do a different version of that. If you're saved and you know it, stomp your feet. But I said, it's Sunday morning, we're not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody said, why not? I go,
That's right. Why
yeah,
not?
why not? So we did it, all right. We then went into Holy, 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 and I looked back. Barbara Mandrell, they went to church there. She's walking in with Ken Dudney, her husband, and Rush Limbaugh.
I remember that Sunday.
And your mind does weird things.
Uh-huh.
We're singing, holy, holy. That's Rush Limbaugh. What's he doing here? She had a tendency, if you spent the night with her Saturday night, you would go to church with her on Sunday morning.
And you sat on the front row, too.
Oh, yeah. They marched him right
Sat
down.
right on the front row.
All right, what's going on?
I think I might be able to go with y'all tomorrow. I know there's not another parachute, but I think this dress will work.
Can we have a rim shot on that?
Good, Josh. Good job.
Our kind of drummer. Thanks, Josh.
I told her. She said that.
She said what?
That I was scared of jumping out of the
That she was
airplane.
afraid to jump. She was getting scared tomorrow, and I told her, I said, honey, do not worry about that. It's going to be a little windy, but you'll be all right. We got Marcel, and we got somebody praying for her
That's
in the
right.
morning. She's
She's
going to be
holding it
fine.
down. Yes,
She's going to
she
have
is.
fun.
Yes, we are.
I had my family over last night for dinner.
Yeah.
Homer's family, rather.
I'm sorry.
I know. So was I. His nephew was over there, and he just getting on Homer's last nerve because he kept saying, my generation is so much better than your generation because we got computers and we got electric cars and old Homer said, yeah, we didn't have all that growing up. We just invented it. Yes.
Zing.
Zing. Yeah. Nephew's not real bright. He'd been over to Dollywood the other day. They took him to Dollywood when it opened up. They stayed in the ER with him all night because he had a big gash on his head. He was on a roller coaster up there, and he said, doctor was asking me, I said, well, how did this happen? He said, well, I was on the roller coaster. We got up at that top loop, and there was a sign up there, and I couldn't read it. And so when we got down at the bottom, I got back on to read it again. And Doc said, well, what'd it say? He said, well, it said, don't stand up. Bless his heart.
I like that.
It's pitiful. But, and Clyde, that's Homer's brother, his wife, Lois, I tell you what, she's something else. She will kiss the dog right in the mouth and will not drink out of her husband's glass. Now, what does that say about a person? You know what they say about marriage. They always, something happens, they always check the husband first, or the wife first.
You have to.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm going over to sign up.
And it's going to say?
It's going to say, have no fear of perfection, because you'll never reach it.
That's true. That's true.
I know y'all are shocked. 99% of you, I'm sure, are shocked that I haven't reached it yet, but
Haven't reached the pinnacle.
haven't reaced it. No.
There's Larry.
She's coming for you.
Yeah.
I hope she's bringing some pie. Everybody
She
else is
might
eating
be.
pie.
There she is. You better come through that door.
What a babe.
You're out in the parking lot?
No, honey. I want to tell you, I was back there. I've been to church this morning.
Oh, Lord.
Thank you, Mama.
What's
How
happening,
you doing?
Nadine?
Wonderful.
Good to see you.
It's
I was
good
back
to
there
see you.
listening. I'm just, every once in a while we need to go back to day one, don't we?
We do.
Whew. I tell you, I'm Baptist. I'm going to the Baptist now.
Yeah.
And I look around sometime and I think, now you jump up and down and you're screaming and hollering at these ball games. Why can't we do this at church? Amen. I just look over there and everybody's like, bothers me.
Waiting to get out.
Yeah.
Go to the Piccadilly.
Homer's telling me, just be still over there, Nadine. Don't be jiving around. I like to jive around. I'm going to be jiving in heaven. Might as well do it here. Preach it, Nadine.
We
Preach
got
it.
the choir here tonight.
Oh, well, I tell you what, and I don't fear a whole lot. I don't fear a whole lot anymore, this age. But I do fear today, I had a big fear. I had 2 cups of coffee and a bran muffin and got in traffic.
Oh, boy.
Oh, not good.
That'll put the fear in
That's
you.
scary.
It's very scary. Homer was rushing as fast as he could. But I've been babysitting for 3 days. I love my grandbabies, but they just about got to me yesterday, so I had them line up on the wall and gave them $5, and I said, you hold this $5 bill with your nose on the wall, you can't touch it. And whoever, the last one standing, gets all the money. Honey, I was able to read a book for 3 hours. I was. My son came back to get him. He said, I always thought I was a patient person, but after the 11th time a 3-year-old gets out of bed and comes in there and still wanting to know why a duck doesn't have arms, just gets to him. I told him, I said, I know. It's just like when I had them, if you say no, they heard, oh, she didn't understand the question. Ask her again.
The number 2 son who stood out here a little bit ago, Adam, when he was still in diapers, we lived in upstate New York. Ian, his older brother, we had bunk beds. Well, this is the first time we allowed him to sleep in a bunk bed by himself. He was out of the crib. I was at the other end of the house. I hear him come out of the room. He doesn't do it quite. It's like boom, 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 boom. I go, come on, I'll take you back to bed. Took him back, put him in bed. We'd already prayed with him and all that. Said, now stay in bed. I walk out the door, go back to the bedroom with Luann. Here, boom, 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 boom. Doesn't know to be quiet. Put him back in bed. So then I decided, all right, I'm standing at the door. It's dark in the hall. And I stood right by the door. And I hear him go, boom, choom, choom, choom. Comes to the door and he opens it and closes it real quick. Then he opens it and he just saw a shadow there. And I thought I'd let him do that about 3 times. The 4th time when he did it, I hit the door with my hand. I went, bam! He goes, and he headed back to bed. Didn't have any more problems with it.
He's still seeing a counselor over that. Oh.
We had a couple that had a little grandbaby that was staying at their house. He was about 6 years old, and he kept telling them, he kept coming downstairs, and they were watching TV. He said, there's a ghost in my room, Mimi. There's a ghost in my room. And she said, there is no such thing. There's not a ghost in your room. Now, you get back up there. He did that 3 times. On the 3rd time, she said, I'm going to wear you out if you come down here and do this again. So she said, it wasn't 5 minutes till she heard him coming down the steps. She turned around and looked at him. She said, Mama. He said, Mimi, it's the Holy Ghost. He knew he wasn't going to get spanking then. He wasn't going to get a whooping for that. No.
Adam and I were flying in from someplace when we lived in upstate New York. And I was, back when planes, everybody dressed up.
Yeah, we did that. I still do because I'm old.
You're right, I don't because I'm old.
Yeah.
Sitting between 2 businessmen, and seats were real tight, and they were having dinner. So Adam is sitting in my lap, and he is beginning to fidget like crazy. And I whispered in his ear, I said, Adam, if you don't be quiet, I'm going to bust your bottom. And in a rather loud voice, he goes, but if you bust my bottom, how will I go potty? Cracked up the businessmen.
Yeah.
It was funny. Yeah, I'm sorry.
This day and time, you'd be put in jail for that. You know
That's
that.
right.
Well, I told Homer the other night, I said, I don't know what my grandkids are going to say when they get older and tell their kids. I guess they're going to say, well, I didn't get a phone till I was in the 4th grade, and Wi-Fi didn't work upstairs. But I'm going to go and put the sign up.
What's the sign going to say?
It's going to say, children...
Don't you be looking at her.
Well, she's just a cute little thing. I was looking at her hairstyle.
I got you.
Children are not a distraction from more important work. They are the most important work.
I agree with that, yes.
Oh, boy.
Hey, y'all, thanks for stopping by. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and ring the bell.